Alright guys, so today is November 9th, and I don't want to jinx myself, but it's not that busy out today. Couple cars passing every once in a while, but it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and typically at this point in the day, the neighborhood is rambunctiously wild, but that's not what we're here to talk about. It's tulip planting time. It's been particularly warm. I garden in zone 7A. I garden in Delaware, northern Delaware, and it's been really warm, and I don't like that. I don't like the summer. I don't like heat. Fall and winter are my favorite seasons, with winter being number one. But it's been so hot. It's 75 degrees out right now, and even though I have on this little vest, it's not for weather protection. It's just for style. So about 2 weeks ago, we had a couple of days of non-stop rain, and the ground is still pretty wet. And that's because the sun isn't hot enough to, dry the ground out super fast as if it were summertime. So with the combination of my kids inside being really loud, the rains and the hot weather, I've been a little bit resistant to plant my bulbs because I don't want them to prematurely come up, number one, like they did last year, and number two, I'm in a little quandary because so the garage isn't as cool and dark as it normally is this time of year. So I've been moving my bulbs around, trying to keep them cool and dark with a lot of airflow. I just picked up some bulbs from Home Depot today because they're 50% off, but the majority of my bulb order hasn't come in yet from Eden Brothers. It's supposed to be coming today, but again, it's around 2:30. They're still not here. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and work with what I have. This morning I picked up from Home Depot this tulip blend called Blue Moon Mix. I'll pop up on the screen a closer look on the tag, and also I picked up a purple reflection mix. So the whole color scheme for the front yard are going to be purples and whites, shades of purple and white. On the west side, I bought tulips in an orange color because I want the west side to be orange and I want the front yard to be purples. Previously, I did order from Eden Brothers, and I had a mix of pinks and oranges and reds, the entire rainbow. And none of them came back. None of them naturalized. None of them returned. So I'm hoping that these actually naturalize, return, and come back in my garden. So I have that I got from Home Depot. I went to my local garden center and I got some candy prints, tulips, hi baby, some Negrita purples, for the west side, Daydream tulips. I've got Night Watch tulips from, I think this is HollandBulbFarm.com that I got these from. It's the first I've ever heard of them, so I'm giving them a try. So I've got 30 of those, 30 of the Night Watch tulips. I've got 25 Tulip Olivia, which I think is for the west side. That's an orange color. And I'm supposed to be getting a couple more from Eden's Brothers, and I will post on the screen what my Eden's Brother order looked like and the color scheme that I'm going for in the front yard. Now, I chose purple and white for the front yard for a couple of different reasons. So the reason why I chose purple for the front yard is because I'm hoping that they'll naturalize, and I'm thinking that going forward, if I want to add other colors in to complement what I've got going on, purples are an easy color to blend other colors with, like apricots, pinks, yellows, things of that nature. I also picked up some alliums. I have ping pong alliums. Sorry if the color's a little blown out. Sorry if I have these ping pong alliums. I've got 24 of those. They grow 20 to 24 inches high. I also bought alliums 2 years ago, planted them in my main flower bed, they didn't come back. And I also have allium Persian blue. I've got 10 of those. These get between 32 and 36 inches high. What I'm gonna do is the purples, I'm gonna dump them into one big container, mix them up, and then I'm going to place them in groupings throughout the front yard. So let's get into that part of the video. I know I've done a lot of talking, but I just wanted to explain to you what I've got going on. And then hopefully you'll see my vision of the front yard and the west side garden come together. All right, so one thing I didn't mention earlier, when you're mixing tulip bulbs, sorry for the harsh light, it's the sun is going down. You want to make sure that the bulbs that you're mixing together and that you're planting, they have the same requirements as far as depth and bloom time. Both of these varieties bloom mid-spring. They both need to be planted 5 inches deep, and I'm actually going to go a little deeper than that. I'm going to go down to 6 inches, and they have the same bloom time, and they have the same light requirements and the same hardiness zone. So you want to make sure that when you are blending tulips like that, everything matches up. So I'm going to be putting a little bit of bulb tone down in the whole of each plant. And what I've done is I've just gone through the garden and I've done groupings of 10 bulbs. And I've kind of placed them where I think they'll look good and where, kind of was thinking to plant them. So that's where I'm going to put these 10. So I'm just going to scoot them off to the side. I'm going to be planting them with an auger. So I'm just going to drill my hole, and hopefully, I've had this auger for a while, so it's not the most efficient. So my auger is about 1 foot, and I need to go down 5 inches. So I've auged my hole. I am going to now excavate with my hand just a bit. But I've dug my hole. I'm going to use a ruler, make sure that I'm down 5 inches. Oh, I'm using the wrong side. So I'm down about 6 inches, which is really where I want to be for my zone. So from the bottom of the hole to the top, I'm actually down about 6.5 inches, but that is fine. Now I'm going to place a little bulb tone down. Then you want to plant your bulbs with the flat side down and the pointy side up. And my hole clearly is not big enough, so I think I'm going to go with a shovel. Alright, so that's a better size hole, I believe. Going to measure again. I'm actually a little too deep now. Alright, so I'm at 6 inches. Apply my bulb tone, and then again plant them with the pointy side facing up. You actually don't want to get rid of the little paper coating on the outside of the bulb there, but if it comes off, it comes off. So 3, 6, so 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Where's my 10th bulb? Uh-oh. I lost the bulb. And then you want to backfill very carefully so that you don't tilt your bulbs. You don't want any rocks in there. Right? And then just backfill. And then what I'm gonna do now, I'm just using this for example for right now. I'm gonna get a actual tag, and I'm gonna tag this spot. So that way, in case I have anything else to plant over the fall, I'll remember that there are bulbs here, and I won't plant anything there. All right, and so that's all I'm gonna do for the rest of the bulbs that I have out. So let's get busy. So some of you probably saw that and are wondering what it is. And as you look around the garden, you will see other scraps of stuff. What I do this time of year is all of my fruit and vegetable scraps, I take them and I throw them into the garden. I've been doing this thing for years and I've seen no ill effects. I don't have a composter. So in the wintertime when there's no bugs out, I let my kitchen scraps compost in the flower beds. Am I the only one that does that? It's kind of weird, right? Anyway, let's continue on. You can see what I'm talking about with how damp this soil is. And again, it hasn't rained here for about 2 weeks. So this is one of the reasons why I was concerned about planting my bulbs right now, because I really don't want them to rot. So here in this area, I have some tufts of creeping phlox. Here, it lines the edge of this flower bed. So I'm thinking as the phlox grow and eventually touch, it would be really nice, I think in my mind, to have tulips come up and bloom in between the phlox. To have phlox and tulips blooming at the same time and the tulips peeking their head through the phlox. I think that would be magical. So that's my kind of design aesthetic, or my design theory for planting those tulips right there. Not that many more piles left, and if I don't get it all done before the sun goes down, I'll pick them up and continue tomorrow. So I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm using as a temporary placeholder these pine cones until I get my tags. So the upright pine cones stuck in the garden indicate where I have a tulip planted. Hopefully my kids, who are now actively seeking for pine cones for their soup that they're making over there, don't discover those pine cones that I have there. So I don't think I hit the record button when I put my tulips there, and I gave a whole long spiel as to why I chose that spot. So literally right there, I planted 10 bulbs. They're at the base of this Rose of Sharon, in between this lilac and this foxglove. Right there at the base. I don't know if you can see my pine cone, but it's down in there. I know I have narcissus planted up through here, and I have irises planted at the base of this tree. However, I don't so much care for the irises, and I actually did nick one when I was going in there, and didn't bother me a bit because I don't really care about it. But I needed a presentation of the tulips back in that spot. So that's that. So that's it, guys. When the rest of my tulips get here from Eden Brothers, I'm gonna plant them in the garden just as how you saw me go about it. And that's pretty much it. Tulip bulbs are a pain to plant, but they're very rewarding come springtime. So if your local nursery or big box store still has them available now, which mine have them on clearance 50% off, so I bought as many as my garden could contain. Go out and get them, plant them with some starter fertilizer, and remember to plant them to the appropriate depth, cover them over, water them in, and that's it. I'm not watering mine in because, again, you saw how incredibly soaked my soil is, and tomorrow we're supposed to be getting 2 straight days of more rain. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and remember, in all things, give thanks. Bye, guys.